Hi, I'm Joy.
Hi, I'm Lorraine.
And this is Girlish Gurus. And Lorraine, why are we here?
We're here to talk about mid-lifestyle topics for women who are 45 and older to help you live your best, healthiest, and most fulfilled life. We're also going to have lots of fun along the way.
So let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of Girlish Gurus. I'm Joy.
And I'm Lorraine.
Lorraine, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about women who have become successful later in life.
Oh, this is such an important topic, and it's going to be so much fun to talk about.
Yeah. And I'm going to say something that's a little controversial because
you always do.
Because after we put together some articles and research, and as I'm reading it, they identify women older as 40 and above.
Right.
Okay. My son's going to be 41. So to me, that's a baby.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, that's not very old.
No. And I know we're going to get into it a little bit, but I kind of think you got to kind of earn your stripes.
Yes,
a little
I
bit.
do.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we think of success as young because of when it comes to Hollywood, when it comes to stardom, right? A lot of stars are discovered in their 20s and 30s and they have this,
earlier.
Or earlier
Yes.
and have this immediate success. And we kind of relate that to being successful, right? And it's not just about stardom. It's not just about finances. So we're going to get a little bit into that about passions and purpose and all of that. Yeah.
So juicy and so important.
Yeah.
Because for me, we can go through this list and talk about all these women, but I want to start off by saying I feel like I've already had one relatively successful career. Mm-hmm. And now I'm embarking on my second successful endeavor.
And for those of you who may just be joining us as a new listener, Joy was an attorney.
Well, I'm still an attorney.
Yes, you're still an attorney. You were a practicing attorney.
Right.
And now she's found her new purpose.
Right. I'm a content creator. We podcast. And here I am, and here we are together.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
And I came from a totally different background where I was home raising a family, helping my husband with his business. We were partners in his business. And it wasn't until I was age 55 that I went back to school and became a certified health coach and have been so passionate about guiding women with women's health. And together, we're hoping to inspire, encourage women to live these years to the best of their ability.
Right. And this is why this topic is so important and valuable to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, first off, there's so many famous women in the world.
And actually, when you think about people who inspire you, most of the time it is older women, right? When you think and when you hear some of these names, you'll see why, right? Because they are so inspiring, and many of them didn't reach stardom as Hollywood stars or CEOs or whatever until they were well into their late 40s or even older. There's a woman here who actually was a social media star in her 90s. Mm-hmm. So it's exciting to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorites on the list?
Okay, so Dame Judi Dench. Right.
Wow,
so
boy, you can't get better than that.
Uh-huh. And it said here that she had a successful career with the Royal Shakespeare Company, spanning 30 years before she landed her biggest film role. And she was in her early 60s then. The role was M in James Bond.
And I'm a huge Bond fan. Mm-hmm. And when they I remember when they selected her to play M. And I was blown away. And she was phenomenal.
Yeah.
She was great in the role. Yeah.
So, and that was in her early 60s.
I know.
Right? So she had somewhat of a successful career, but she really took off
after that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Ava DuVernay. Now, I can appreciate Ava DuVernay because she didn't actually start getting into film production until she was in her 30s. And for me, the technical aspect, like podcasting, I didn't start doing that until, right before COVID, really, I guess. So 2017-ish, around that time. So I haven't been doing it all that long. Okay, she was 32, and she got famous in later years, but it hasn't been that long since she's been sort of a household name. And she's one of my favorites on the list because she's a storyteller, and I feel like I'm a storyteller too.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Right? Mm-hmm. I'm working on my first fiction novel right now.
Yeah.
And because storytelling is a big part of who I am, I think.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Joy also has another podcast called Everyday Macaroni, which is all about storytelling.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you got to check that out too.
Oh, that's so much fun.
Lots of fun stuff on there.
Definitely a passion project.
Yeah. So also Dame Helen Mirren.
Another favorite. She's an amazing woman.
Yep. She was 52 when she was nominated in the Best Supporting Actress category for her role in The Madness of King George. So much later, right?
Much later.
52.
Oh, yeah.
This one, so Wally Funk, okay?
Now, this one blew me away.
So she officially became the oldest woman to go to space after her NS-16 mission in July 2021. She was 82. 82. And she set the groundwork for this mission decades before. However, she qualified as a pilot and flight instructor. And then in 1961, she passed a test to show that women were just as capable as men to go to space, but was rejected due to her gender.
Wah, wah.
So it took her till 2021
To actually go to
space. And yay, Wally.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I could not even get my mind around that.
Yeah.
But that's amazing.
Amazing. Amazing.
You know? And what a great name, Wally Funk.
Yeah.
I mean, I could make that a character in a book.
Yeah.
I could write a whole book just on that name.
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, I think they need to do a movie about her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
And look at that picture of her. So we're looking at this article, and we will share links to all of these articles. This is in womanandhome.com. And she has this gigantic smile on her face. She does not look 82.
No.
And she's just fabulous.
I know.
Yeah.
Beautiful white hair, and she is just looking like she's
ready to go.
That's right. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Also, Vera Wang.
Oh, Vera Wang. Who doesn't know Vera Wang? You
Right.
know?
And she was an editor at Vogue. She was accessory designer at Ralph Lauren. And it wasn't until she turned 40 that she started working on the bridal line she's most famous for. And it was because of her own dress, I think, right? She wanted to design her own dress. And
well, she had to because she could not find something in the marketplace that was suitable for her as someone who's in her late 30s getting married.
Yep.
Yes, and her dad encouraged her. Now she's a fashion icon.
In 2020, she was reportedly worth over $270 million.
You go, girl.
Yep.
What about Ariana Huffington? We all know Huffington Post. And this media mogul, an amazing woman, she started the Huffington Post, an American media company, in 2005 when she was already in her mid-50s.
Right.
And she sold the company in March 2011 for, are you sitting down? $315 million.
Right.
Just under a decade later, she wrote her 14th book and founded Thrive Global, a health and wellness media company focused on ending burnout. Please.
Yeah. And I actually did an article on there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. You're a powerhouse.
That was fun. Okay. We also have Octavia Spencer.
Well, we love Octavia Spencer.
Right? Best known for her roles in Hidden Figures, The Help, and Ma. And she really became successful in her 40s. She landed her first on-screen role in 1995, and she told The Guardian that finding fame in my 40s allowed me an adult perspective on my career. I truly understand that you have to enjoy it and appreciate it.
Yep. She's a phenomenal actress.
Oh, yeah.
I loved her in The Help. Oh, my gosh. She was amazing.
Yeah.
So much like Dame Judi Dench, we have Viola Davis. And she has been a working actor her whole career, but did not achieve fame until her 40s when she starred in Doubt alongside Meryl Streep. Could you imagine? And she received an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress for that performance. And she also won Best Actress for her role in Help. And that was an amazing movie.
Yeah, actually, I'm inspired to watch it again because that really was such a good movie. I read the book too.
I read the book, and I've actually seen the movie quite a few times. Yeah, it's so good.
And then we have Edie Falco, and who doesn't know Edie Falco?
Oh my gosh, she was amazing in The Sopranos.
My sister actually went to school with her and took drama class with her.
Really?
Yeah,
Which
they
one?
were friends in high school. Marie.
Oh,
Marie.
really?
Yeah. She went to our high school.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so she won a Golden Globe, an Emmy, and a SAG Award, becoming only one of 4 to do so pre-2008. And in 2010, 1903, she was just 40 years old, right? Still a baby to me.
Right,
but,
right.
But according to this article, that was successful later in life.
That's funny.
She's a great actress.
She's a great actress, yeah.
Okay, Julia Child.
Oh, you can't forget Julia Child. I love Julia Child.
Yes, yes. I wish I could imitate her voice.
Well, you gotta put the chicken in the pot. Never apologize. Never say you're sorry. I'm not great at Julia Child either, but she's so phenomenal.
So her cookbook, Mastering the Art of French Cooking, was published in 1961 when she was 49.
Wow.
Contained more than 520 recipes and 700 pages. And her show, The French Chef, started when she was in her 50s.
See,
Yeah.
Lorraine, we're
Wait.
destined for the screen.
Have you seen our cooking show?
Oh my God. Stressful.
We had more bloopers, I think, than actual
Cooking. I know.
Yes. But
Well,
we
that's
had a lot
because
of
we were doing it all ourselves. And
Yes.
it was still super fun.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And every time I watch that blooper reel, it just makes me so happy.
It's hysterical. So then we have Chloe Zhao, and she made history in 2021 when she became only the second woman and the very first woman of color to win an Academy Award in the Best Director category. Her film Nomadland also won Best Picture in the same year, and she was 38 when the film was released.
That's still young.
I know it's still so young, but you
Yeah.
think about that. One of the underlying themes to this whole topic is if you look at the Grammys and you look at the Oscars and all of that, that's a man's world too.
Yeah.
It really is just like the law. Even when I was coming up, by the time I was graduating from law school, so back in the 80s, LA law was a thing, right? After LA law was a big phenomenon, they did some studies and they showed that women enrolling in law school spiked. So they had twice as many women enrolling in law school as men there for a while. I don't know if that's still true today, but you had all of these women graduating from law school, right, and becoming lawyers. And so for me, I didn't really think, oh, I'm entering into a man's world because there were so many female lawyers. I mean, I worked at a law firm before I went to law school. I saw women practicing,
Yeah.
but I never really understood that it was still a man's world until I graduated and started working. And it was made clear to me that I was not always welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, Lorraine, don't forget, it's time for us to schedule our Lifeline Screening appointments. They're 5 simple tests to help us keep on top of our heart and bone health, which is important for women over 45.
Yes, Lifeline Screening has been the premier provider of preventative health screening for over 30 years. In that time, over 10 million people have had screenings to detect their risk of stroke, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic illnesses. Lifeline Screening can provide meaningful benefits for your body and mind, and that's why they're committed to delivering accurate results and recommendations that could give you a healthier advantage in your everyday life, such as early detection of serious conditions, prevention of disease progression, peace of mind so you can enjoy life, savings with more affordable screenings, and no insurance required.
Yep, and don't forget, by using the link in the show notes of this episode, you get a special offer available to Girlish Gurus listeners, so make sure and schedule your appointment.
Get peace of mind now. Here's to your good health. Hopefully, things are changing.
Well, I think they are changing,
Yeah.
and I think they're changing because we're demanding change
Yeah.
to a great extent.
Yeah.
But it's just like talking about menopause,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
That's been
It
something...
was taboo.
It was taboo, but it's also, we weren't talking about it amongst ourselves, and it wasn't a topic of conversation that was a concern for men, generally
Right.
speaking.
Right.
So just like,
Well, it really is, but they didn't realize it.
right, well, right. But male doctors, they're not working on those issues, and they're not studying menopause and symptoms and
Right,
things like that.
right.
And it's the same kind of situation. It's only when we started to demand a seat at the table
Right.
that things started to change.
And it's so interesting you said that. So I'm going to go over to the Forbes article right now. And one of the things they talk about in that, and I'm going to just skip around in it because this just kind of relates to what you were saying. It said, look at it this way. If the women on this planet were a country, it would be the most powerful country in the world in terms of sheer buying power. So in this article, it then goes on to say, like, this is one of the reasons why, as women get older, why they have clarity and purpose. With age usually comes more clarity of who you are, what you want, and what drives you. And according to the author of this helps to narrow the direction of your business, leading to a greater likelihood of success. It's also far more attractive to consumers who are 4 to 6 times more likely to buy from purpose-driven businesses.
See? Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
Yeah. And then the author goes on to say, I find most 50-plus women want to make a difference in the world with their own company. This purpose-driven combination is highly attractive to a buying female audience because women are seeking products and services that not only solve a problem, but also serve a larger purpose.
That's us.
Bada bing.
Bada bing. That's us.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this. Mm-hmm. Wow. That article is great because, first of all, let's back up a little bit. Mm-hmm. That article is about why people who are over 40 are more successful as entrepreneurs.
Right.
And I think right there, that's the kernel. That's the seed that makes people who are in business for other than turning a buck successful.
Because success, like we said earlier, success is not just about the financial part of it, the monetary part of it. And for many people, just having that purpose, having that passion, knowing that you've served a community, knowing that you've helped, in our case, women who are age 45 and older, to maybe inspire them, it feels successful to you, whether it's seen on the outside.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I have always said this, and I believe it now more than ever. You can't create out of want or lack. Mm-hmm. You have to create because you love the act of creating.
Yeah.
And that's an underlying principle that drives anything worthwhile forward.
Yeah.
It's a passion.
An abundance mentality, like providing
help for women who are postmenopausal or perimenopausal, or even women who are like me looking for something to get out of bed in the morning, looking for a reason.
Yeah. We have a short time on this planet.
Right.
And I know you feel the same way as I. We want to take advantage the best way we can and experience everything that we can and provide all the inspiration that we can for as long as we're able.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we are, I think, overall becoming healthier, generally speaking. Mm-hmm. And so we have the benefit of longevity. I think that is growing and it's expanding our healthy, productive years.
Yeah.
And so just because you're an empty nester and you've raised your children and maybe you've closed down your career that served its purpose because you were raising your family, now you are in a situation where you can choose to do something that is purpose-driven, whatever it is. They're encouraging you to now take that and run with it. And I think that that is such a wonderful thing.
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be a career. It could just be volunteering.
Or a hobby.
Or a hobby.
Whatever, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this article backs that up too. It talks about all the reasons why people who start businesses after the age of 40 are successful. Mm-hmm. And one of those is confidence, experience, wisdom. You know, those things that we as women who are 45 and older have in spades.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's the truth. This article isn't just about women who are successful after the age of 40, but I think for us as women, we have so much natural ability, intuition and smarts and wisdom and confidence.
There's one quote in here that she has. Research shows that entrepreneurs in their 50s, don't make me get the chuckles. Research shows that entrepreneurs in their 50s and over are twice as likely to be successful as those in their 20s, something that can be put down to one main factor: experience.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. And not only have midlife women had more time to develop those leadership and relationship building qualities that significantly help grow a business through a combination of direct purchasing and influence over others, they also essentially hold the world's purse strings by controlling more than 64% of global spending.
Well, we come to the table with our experience, our education, and I'm not a parent, but you've had 3 children. Mm-hmm. That creates a whole different set of leadership skills. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just does.
Yeah.
And the buying power that you have, all of those things. I mean, I totally agree with that article. Women over 45 are definitely a force to be reckoned with in the marketplace.
Yeah. And so we also have some research on why you might experience greater success, right, later in life. One of the things is accumulated experience and knowledge, like we said. Years of living and working provide valuable insights and knowledge that can be leveraged for success in various areas. Enhanced self-awareness. As you age, you develop a better understanding of your strengths, weaknesses, and values, allowing you to make more informed choices and pursue goals that align with your true aspirations. One thing I want to add to that is, and all the mistakes you've made along the way, right? All of those learning opportunities, yes. Because obviously, the longer you live, the more mistakes you've made.
Right. Like I said in my book, you are going to fail from the time you are born until the time you leave this earth. You're going to fail. And the goal is to fail forward.
Yeah.
Learn from those mistakes.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
And with that comes improved problem solving and resilience. That's another reason. Life experiences equip you with the skills to navigate challenges and overcome obstacles more effectively, leading to greater resilience and the ability to learn from setbacks.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, I can't think of a better problem solver than a mom. I mean, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't hot glue your patches onto your Girl Scout uniforms.
Now. And go in a rainstorm.
Oh, it gives me a cramp. That's so funny.
We'll have to do that on everyday macaroni.
I know. Yes, absolutely. But that doesn't cancel out the point that you're a mom. You have to find a way to get through many situations.
Well, I have to tell you, it wasn't until I was a mom that I found that I had more self-confidence because I had somebody else to speak up for other than myself.
That's right.
And that mama bear definitely comes out in all the situations, whether it's taking them to a doctor, talking to their teacher, or whatever the situation may be. That's when I really found my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. Mm-hmm. For me, it wasn't until I had to go into court and represent clients who were paying me to be their advocate. And so, yeah, that propels you forward quickly. But I still don't think it's as valuable as being a mom because you have that emotional connection to that baby bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mother was
grandchildren. Oh my God.
Oh, grandchildren. Yeah. My mother was in her prime years as a parent, she was a huge problem solver. She figured out how to get things done in ways that were pretty astounding. So, yeah, I have a firm belief in the value of a mom.
It is my proudest, I guess,
Accomplishment.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Well,
I do feel that way. I knew from an early age that that's what I wanted to do, that I wanted to stay home, raise a family. I was able to.
It's the most important job in the world.
I was able to volunteer. I was fortunate that I could do that because obviously it's so hard nowadays financially for families to be able to do that. But I was fortunate I was able to do that. And I was able to volunteer. I was able to be in their schools all the time, whether they liked that or not.
Oh, I'm sure they loved it.
Yeah. But it really was the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that.
So I feel successful.
Well, you should.
that,
And I think that's a big reason why you're successful today is because that combined with running a small business. I mean, you and your husband together operated a small business and still do.
Yeah.
And the combination of those two things, has made you an amazing entrepreneur at this age in your life.
It's all those life experiences, right? Yeah. And actually growing up in a family where my mom had to work, and I became very independent very early, too.
Yeah, same here.
So I feel like that also contributed to me being able to step up, do what I need to do. Yeah. Take the reins. I think we both have that type A personality.
I think it comes out in different ways, but I think we do very much.
Yeah.
Yes. I am the person that if there's a task that needs to be done, I will put my head down and you will not see me until that task is done. And I will accomplish that task in the time given. So, but you have to, as a lawyer, I mean, you have no choice.
Yeah.
You have those deadlines and you have those parameters that you have to observe. It's important because you have a fiduciary duty to your client. So, I took that extremely seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that I'm self-motivated to this day, and I'm very independent because of that. I've been told maybe a little too independent.
You can never be too independent.
Well, some people don't like it so much.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I know. Yes, and we'll just leave that right there.
Okay, so there's a few other reasons why people may be more successful, and one is stronger networks and connections. Over time, you build a network of relationships that can provide support, mentorship, and opportunities for collaboration and growth. Okay. And we see that all the time. All the time. That's how we find a lot of our guests on the show, all the connections we've made, right?
Networking, yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, greater patience and persistence. Maturity often brings a greater sense of patience and a willingness to persevere in the face of adversity, which are crucial for long-term success. Mm-hmm. Financial stability. In many cases, individuals in later years may have more financial resources and stability, which can provide the freedom to pursue their passions and take calculated risks.
Yep, that's true too.
Yep, very true. Clearer focus and priorities. As you gain experience and wisdom, you may develop a clearer sense of what truly matters to you, allowing you to focus your efforts and resources on achieving your most important goals. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Humility and openness to learning.
Ah, that's a big one. There's no ego.
Yeah.
We don't bring any ego to the table, you and I.
No. So those who find success later in life are often humble enough to admit their mistakes, learn from them, and remain open to new ideas and opportunities.
That's right.
Yeah.
Whereas young people have more of a tendency to be ego-driven because they just don't know. That's something you learn with experience. Yeah.
And they get offended more easily.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, I mean, it's true.
Yeah, it is true. Self-belief, having faith in yourself and your abilities is a crucial factor in achieving success, and this belief can be strengthened through experience and resilience. Mm-hmm. And this is a good lead into what our next podcast episode is going to be about, right?
Should we say?
Yeah, go ahead.
We're going to be talking about the book by Mel Robbins, Let Them.
Yeah. And I think that self-belief part kind of fits into that because sometimes the people around us affect what we believe about ourselves, right? And so we're going to do a deep dive into the Let Them theory, and that'll be the next episode. So this episode is airing the 21st.
Yeah.
So April 7th, the Let Them theory will be.
April 7th, 2025. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
So get ready.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. You won't want to miss that.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss any of our episodes.
That's right. They're all super fun. Well, I love that article, and I believe all of that to be true, especially as an entrepreneur who I'm in my 50s now. So I kind of have always felt some of those things to be true, but now more than ever, I really know the value of myself and what I bring to the table. And so if you are contemplating starting a business and you're 45 and older, go check that article out. That can give you a little boost in confidence that you need to maybe get started.
Yeah. And we will, again, post links to all of these articles that we're referring to.
For sure. All right, here are a few women who achieved success after the age of 45 that I think we all know but weren't included on that list. And I just want to give them an honorable mention here. One of them is Dr. Ruth Westheimer. She was 52 when she got her first radio show, and she was a very famous sex therapist. She had a PhD. She survived the Holocaust. Her parents sent her to live in an orphanage in Switzerland, and so that's how she survived the Holocaust. And, of course, she lost her entire family, her parents and her grandmother. And she went on just through her own sheer determination and grit and built a very successful career for herself. An amazing woman. Very amazing.
Yeah.
Anna Mary Robertson Moses, Grandma Moses, who became a prolific painter at the age of 78. Another famous woman.
Yeah.
An amazing and talented artist.
You're never too old and it's never too late.
That's right. You never are. Okay, here's another one of my personal favorites that most people, if they think about it, probably know this person. Sue Monk Kidd. She wrote The Secret Life of Bees, and it was published when she was 54, and she achieved great notoriety. She started off life as a nurse. She had a Bachelor of Science in nursing, and she was a nurse for the longest time while she was working on starting her writing career. And she was told that The Secret Life of Bees, she had one chapter written. She took it to a workshop and she was told that story doesn't have any value. It's not going to be a good story. And so she put it down for a lot of years and didn't work on it. And then finally decided, I'm going to go back and I'm going to work on it. And it turned into a huge bestseller.
Yeah, I think that women need to listen to their gut and not listen to outside voices. If you feel passionate about a project, about something, whether it's writing or doing something, and you get negative feedback from people, I would still say go with your gut and just do it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The last one I want to highlight, someone I'm sure any woman over 40 knows, and probably under 40 too. Mary Kay Ash. Mm-hmm. Mary Kay Cosmetics. She founded Mary Kay Cosmetics when she was 45 years old, and she was passed over for a promotion in favor of a man she had trained. Mm-hmm. And instead of giving up, she decided, I'm going to start my own company. And she started Mary Kay Cosmetics. And her direct sales model transformed the beauty industry. And today, the company remains one of the most successful beauty brands in the world. Mm-hmm. And the last one that I want to talk about, who is a total inspiration to me, I'm a huge fan, have always been a huge fan, and that's Lucille Ball.
Yes.
I
love Lucy.
Oh, I love Lucy too. She was in her 40s when I Love Lucy was on the airwaves, and she crossed all kinds of boundaries with that show. She was the first woman to show a pregnancy on national television. She was absolutely a powerhouse at Paramount. She had her own office over there. She was just something else.
Yeah.
She's
amazing.
Incredible.
Yes. Incredible.
An incredible woman.
Yeah. My childhood, every night before dinner, we would watch I Love Lucy. And that was already, I don't know how many years of reruns. And I think I probably have seen every episode 100 times or over 100 times. But I just love it. It's still to this day, I love watching.
It just makes you feel good to watch it.
Yeah. So many. She was just such a comedian, right? She was just so wonderful. Make you laugh. The chocolate.
I know the timing.
Vita Vegemin. Vita Vegemin, whatever.
Oh, so funny. Gosh. You just can't beat Lucille Ball.
No.
You really can't. And there's so many others. Phyllis Diller, Betty White, B. Arthur.
Right.
All of those women who were just powerhouses in the comedic world. But Lucille Ball, she
kind of led the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's the OG comedian. Yeah. So I think a shout out to some of those women. Of course, comedy and storytelling, those are my personal loves.
Right.
But I do want to take just a minute and wind up with a couple of quotes from some famous women on some of these lists that I think are just incredible. Okay, so the first one in an article from The Cut, because we've already talked about her a little bit, Ava DuVernay had a great quote. She said, I picked up the camera pretty late for someone becoming a director. Usually people are going to film school and they're picking up their first camera either in high school or in their college years. I was just starting to learn about it at 32 years old. I really think the conversation is about to change. Can you change your mind about who you are and what you want to do later in the game? I think in our society and our culture encourages you to find out what you want to do, who you want to be, and who you want to be right now, and stick with it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That is success. That is you're doing well, and I think there needs to be some flexibility there for people to change, to learn, to grow, to evolve, and to experience new things.
Yes.
If there's any kind of through line in my story, whether it be gender, race, age, whatever, it is to step out boldly and explore your desires and your instincts and see what it's about.
Exactly.
That was from an article in Forbes in 2021 that was reposted in The Cut. Finally, Viola Davis. Now, she's just amazing, Viola Davis. I mean, she was around for a long time, and it took her a long time to find her traction and to really start to make strides. But she's an amazing actress.
Yes.
For years, I was trying to fit in, stifling my voice, stifling who I was, in order to be seen as pretty, in order for people to like me. And then going home, not being able to sleep and having anxiety. I have found that the labeling of me and having to fit into that box has cost me a great deal. I've had a lot of lost years, but I feel like my past has been the perfect foundation to teach me everything about this business and about life. I know what it's like to not have food. I know what it means to even have half of my refrigerator full or not to have electricity and hot water, to have a job and a paycheck. It was ripe ground to study human behavior, Everyone knew who the town drunk was, who was beating their wife. Everyone knew everyone's mess. So that's helped me greatly in forming my work. And that's from The Guardian in October of 2018.
Experience, instincts. I'm like picking out words from each of their quotes. Like, you know what your desires are, the knowledge you've gained, your experiences. That's why it's not surprising that women become more successful the older that they get.
Yes, that's true. I feel like my whole life has been leading me up to this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in this Forbes article, the very last sentence kind of says everything that we've been talking about. When you hit your upper 40s, you realize that your life has a shorter runway. So there is a greater sense of urgency and determination, which is essential for creating a thriving business. We are here for a short time. We're a blip.
On the radar, yep.
Yeah. And the dash, we want to be that dash, right? The dash between the birth and the death. How do you spend those years? Do you create the life that you've always dreamt of? Do you just sit back and, I don't know,
eat bonbons and watch trash TV?
Which is not bad on, once in a while.
That has its value too.
Right. Whether it's providing a service, whether it's a new hobby, you're volunteering, you're traveling, you're spending time with friends, with your family, whatever it is, do something every day that gets you excited, that gets you on your feet in the morning and out of your bed. And how does that saying go?
You want to be the kind of woman who, when her feet hit the floor, the devil says, "Oh no, she's up." Well,
yeah.
I mean, not necessarily the devil, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Well, I really don't know of any other way to say it other than just to tell you, if you're thinking about starting a business, go do it. You can do it. We're doing it. You can do it.
You can do it.
You're never too old, and it's never too late.
That's right. And stick around because we are here to inspire you. So give this a like, a share, a follow.
Subscribe to our channel.
Yeah. And we're here for you.
We're here for you. Comment. Please reach out to us on social media. Post a comment below this episode. We would love to hear from you. If there's a topic that you want us to discuss, let us know. Share your experiences with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come join us. Be a part of our tribe.
Yeah. And stay tuned for exciting things coming up that we will be sharing in the next few months.
Yes.
Little teaser.
Good, important stuff coming up.
Yeah.
And check out YouTube for extended versions of this episode with bloopers and additional stuff thrown in.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today.
Yes. Yep. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Girlish Gurus. We hope you'll join us next time for more fun and inspiration. Be sure to check the description of this episode for links and information about the topic, and you can find us on our social media platforms starting with Instagram, Facebook, and now including YouTube. You can find us by searching Girlish Gurus, and you can also check out our website, girlishgurus.com, for more information on us, our projects, books, and our growing community.
And don't forget to download this episode, give it a good review, and share it with your girlfriends. We would also love to hear from you in the comments because the more interaction we get, the more episodes we can post. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.